So I'm Jean-Luc Mootoosamy. I'm now the program manager for Foundation Hirondelle activities in the Central African Republic. So it covers one radio, which is Radio Ndekeluka, which is a national radio with public service mandate. And one component of our program is the rehabilitation of radio stations, community radio stations. And we have also developed an advertising agency for the radio, and also we hope to bring it to other radio stations also. So it's quite a big program in CAO. That's a long story. Actually, I'm from Mauritius Island in the Indian Ocean. I was born there, raised there. And actually, I started radio at the age of 13. I'm now 41, so it's been 28 years since I'm working in this environment, in radio environment. I don't know if I could do another job. When I joined Foundation Hirondelle and I started to do my work, it seemed as if everything I did since I was 13 had a purpose, because I was doing the job I wanted to do, the way I wanted it to be, that is bringing news to people and having a feeling of being useful. Because sometimes when as a journalist myself, I asked that question to me a lot of times. What's my use? What am I doing? I'm just producing the statements of a minister at a press conference. Well, I don't see why is it so special what I'm doing? It's true there are lots of advantages, lots of openings, lots of people that you get to meet. But then now what I'm doing is that what I'm helping to bring to people, being now in charge of the operation, it really fulfills what I wanted to do, that is bringing something new, and today it's something useful. And this sense of usefulness is just great as a journalist. Take one example of things I would say not to do. When I came first in Congo in 2004, there were huge posters of all girls should go to school. It was huge on the walls of Kinshasa. It was not produced in Kinshasa, obviously, when I saw the pictures. But it was nice poster, well made, beautiful colors, but useless, because girls are, most of them, working at home because their mom cannot do everything. So they are the ones who are chosen to work with their moms at home. It's hard to say it like this, but it's the reality in these countries, in some countries. It's an economic question also, because when you have 6 or 7 kids and you don't have a fixed salary, who do you choose to send to school? Probably the boys, because they could get a job later, and they can feed your family, and they can also help your daughter to find a job somewhere. But there are priorities. There's also the cultural situation where sometimes girls learn at home because they have their ways of educating their kids. So it's bringing a ready-made, beautiful campaign with nice music and beautiful jingles from abroad, and think that it will work in a country. Sorry, you could be extremely disappointed. Give an example in a community radio station where I worked as a trainer. We had it was a small community radio. It is still a small community radio in Kasongo, which is in the eastern part of DRC. We had a program. We were sitting together, and there was a vaccination campaign on measles. And we said, well, let's we'll interview a doctor, and then we'll interview MSF, who was in charge of this campaign. We'll put it in the news. Then we'll run 2 communiques to tell people at what time to come to do this vaccination campaign, to participate there. It was for young girls. And then that's it. We're good. Okay, good. They do their job. The news bulletin goes. Next day, we go to that school where the vaccination campaign was supposed to take place. No one was there. Came to me, the organizers came to me and said, "Are you sure the radio worked yesterday? Because everyone listens to the radio." I said, "Yes, I myself was monitoring the radio. How is it that no one came?" So then I sat down with the editor-in-chief and the head of radio there, and I asked them, "Well, did you send your daughter?" I said, "No." I said, "Why?" I said, no, these vaccines, they transited through Rwanda. Yes, and this is to kill our daughters, so we won't go there. So I said, "You guys, you were there to do the news, you interviewed the guy from MSF, and now you're telling me that you yourself, you didn't send your daughter." I asked them, "But how is it?" I said, "But what doesn't work there? It's a real problem for me who come from Geneva, I mean, from not far from Lausanne. It's not that, that's the time, it was 10 years ago, when I knew it was not that straightforward, And so I asked them, who would convince you then?" And then looked at me, they said, "Well, we are no specialists, so we don't know what's inside this vaccine. If we trust you, because you tell us that it's good because you would do it for your daughter, but you're going to leave in a few days. What will happen if all our girls die tomorrow?" So I said, "Who stays here and who do you trust?" And they said, "The Catholic priest and the imam from the mosque." So I said, "Let's meet them." So we went to meet them. We spoke to them. I asked them, "Are you convinced that it will work, that it's real, this vaccination is really for the good of your people, because it's the way they see it? These are their people." I said, "Yes." So I said, "Would you come tonight for a show and explain that on air?" So they came the next day, they came on air and explained it in their words, in the local language, because this is something also important for our media, is that we have only national staffs on air, and they speak the local language. So they explained that on air, saying that you should come. I said, I don't have a plan C. This was the plan B. Now I don't know what to do if it doesn't work. So the next day we went to the same school, and there was a crowd of people that you won't imagine. It was incredible. It was just incredible. So I was, it's really moving. You see that. So when you get finally that key to open that door, because else it would be the door would remain shut.